Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
your boy Tanner, aka the Casual Fan.
Here we go. Tanner's back.
Nice. What number are we on?
Episode 15. We'll get there. Who else is sitting here?
Your other boy, Dynamite Don.
Oh, we starting this? 909.
R.I.P. to Dynamite Kid. You know, I had to throw that one out there.
Yeah, that's a good one, Dynamite. Yeah. Dynamite Don.
I was ready to evolve and change my gimmick because I.
As you do.
I got something more official. I'm just gonna roll with.
Yeah, and we got big things planned for the new year, so stay tuned for that.
So I'm ending all the name shenanigans.
Really, I was just gonna say, man, I give you like kudos and props for like being extremely clever with every podcast you come on. It's pretty well a different name.
Yeah, but thanks for joining us here. Like I said, guys, this is the Roundtable episode 15. We've made it.
Getting up there.
We keep saying that, but yeah, don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter, guys. As always, at PW Lookback. If you want to send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. And the YouTube, obviously, Pro Wrestling Look Back. Hit that little bell. Like I've always been saying, that's the thing. Tanner got us good. I remember I listened to one of the episodes we did, and Tanner kind of reassured us that is what you do on YouTube. So good to see. Check me out on Twitter as well, at Salsa, SCELSA.
My Twitter is at New School Money.
And my Twitter is at Royalty40.
Yeah. All right, boys. Like I said, episode 15 of the Roundtable. I think this one, a little mic problem. I think this one's going to be a bit different. We're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown, but we're going to save most of that for later. I have some questions kind of for our casual fan. I want to maybe not get out of the way, but dive into tonight because I think it's cool that we've got Tanner back in studio shed. And yeah, I wouldn't call this our 2018 best of, but if we don't end up doing a 2018 best of show, this will probably, fit in that.
Be close?
Yeah, this will be close enough. So we'll see if that happens, but if not, then yeah, this is kind of going to be our best of 2018 with a little Raw and SmackDown highlights at the end because we know those shows.
Yeah, I'm about that.
Yeah. I mean, Raw and SmackDown hasn't really been the greatest lately. We know you popped in for a first episode in a few weeks.
Yeah, I took a little break off there, but
yeah,
I came back and I was disappointed.
Yeah, it probably wasn't a bad idea. Idea to take a break, but okay. So, like I said, kind of some of the best stuff of the year. Before we go there, though, Tanner.
Yeah,
I got some questions for you.
Shoot, my brother.
I'm curious because I feel, and you might tell me better or not or wrong, but I feel this has probably been the most pro wrestling you've watched in a calendar year. In the year of 2018, I feel like you've probably watched more wrestling this year, especially joining us on the look backs and the roundtables and stuff.
Yeah, that or 2016.
Yeah, when I kind of got back into it more and you were watching it with me. No, good point.
We did Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Yeah, we were watching a lot of NXT, and you came to Survivor Series with us as well, but I don't think you were watching maybe as much week-to-week television.
I agree.
At that point. So I'm curious, what are some of the things that are keeping you coming back, aside from obviously doing the show and sticking around with me and Donovan? I'm just more curious because I think this is cool for anybody that's listening. Like I always say, thanks for checking out the show. But for anybody that's listening, I think it would be cool to kind of get the perspective of the casual fan and maybe your opinion as to the things that you do like about pro wrestling. That obviously there's things we critique here and we don't like everything, but there's obviously something that's making you want to come on the show. And
I can give a different insight and different view, I guess.
Yeah, whether it's, you enjoy the baby faces and the heels and the storylines or just good wrestling or whatever the case may be.
Well, one thing that I can say for sure that always brings me back is probably the storylines. I feel like this year they've done a great job. You know me, I've disagreed with a few of the storylines, and they're kind of whacked. But a majority of them have been deep, especially the stuff going on with Seth Rollins and
Dean now.
Yeah, that's intense. Like WWE, they don't really have any boundaries. Like what did Diener say about he bring in Roman?
Yeah, well, we talked about that on whenever the last episode you were on. I think we were talking about that as well. So yeah.
They did a lot of crazier stuff back, early 2000s or in the 90s and all that. And they can't do certain things anymore. But the storylines definitely have been bringing me back. They last a good amount of time, and I think for the most part, they terminate a storyline when it's ran its course.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the progressive of the wrestlers and the moves that they're doing is insane now, especially the Women's League coming up, and they're doing amazing.
it's probably been pretty cool for you to see like the women, like a lot of first ofs, you know, especially this year and 2016 as well. But now we get a lot of first ofs in the women's division, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and just even from a casual fan's perspective, you can see how the sport has evolved.
Yeah,
like drastically in the last 3 years.
Oh no, for sure, man. And so basically, the storylines, like you were saying, they have been pretty good this year. But aside from maybe some of them, not. I think you said they ended a little too quickly, or
what else?
Some of the stories.
Some of them did. They just disappear.
Yeah, which I mean, when they're not good, is almost
you kill it.
Better.
Yeah,
in a sense, right?
I agree.
Just get rid of it and kind of. But I know you haven't been as positive with some of the risque stuff they do when they. I mean, when they were talking about Natalia's dad and bringing her in the storyline pretty quickly, and this, Roman answering to the man upstairs.
If they
to
do
quote
it,
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, if they do it right, I'm about it. But sometimes, and I've been vocal about it, it turns into a very cringy situation.
Yeah, that's your word.
Yeah, yeah. I've used it quite often, and it's just those storylines, and I'm just like, what are you doing? It's like Vince is stuck in this fastcade of like doing stuff
one way.
Yeah, and it's just like it never. Sometimes it doesn't evolve, and it's just cringy.
Yeah,
but and I know some people might enjoy it, but just for me, that turns me off. But
cool, yeah, no, that's always cool. I kind of wanted to get your opinion of that. I don't know if Donovan had anything you wanted to bounce off any of that stuff.
Oh no. I was just listening to everything he was saying. It was interesting to hear your point of view on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, is there any wrestlers that stick out? Obviously, we know you've kind of been a Dean Ambrose fan from the time that you got in, but is there any wrestlers that stick out more to you? Not only maybe in 2018, but just kind of since you've been watching it again?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one, actually.
Just kind of like, if I say that, like, who are the few faces that are running through your head, maybe?
Aside, I like Dean.
Yeah.
Seth, Roman.
So the Shield in general.
Yeah. I was totally against Ronda, but she's made strides. Like, she's doing very well for herself.
Yeah, and for you to be saying that, anybody who...
I know.
Go back and listen. Tanner has not been a big proponent of Ronda Rousey. So.
Yeah, but she's done good with a multi-millionaire company promoting her. That'd be a lot of pressure. And at first, she's jumping into a new industry that she's not used to. But she's impressed me now, especially the whole thing with Charlotte. Like, that was clutch. But Charlotte stands out to me. I love what they're doing with Becky.
Oh, the Becky stuff. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm curious. What are your opinions of this whole Becky situation? Because this might be one of the best things that's happened in 2018.
My opinion?
Yeah. I mean, because I just elaborate a little bit more on.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Becky was always in the background, and she wasn't a meat shield, but she was just never really a contender. And they turned her into this heel, and now she's like a baby face or like a heel again now, and she rocks. Like, she's running it. Like, she's a great solo wrestler, and I would promote the shit out of her, and she's done nothing but positive things for the business in my aspect. And I always said it. I was like, damn, they should really like push this girl because she can fucking do it. And she's a great wrestler. She's great on the fucking mic.
Sound effects machine is back, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Becky Lynch.
Yeah. And I'm happy that the company went in that direction.
Yes.
I really am.
Yeah. I was talking to Nick the other night about just like if this was not a record or any record, blah, blah,
not on the mics,
not off record, but I was just saying, like, there's been so many times where it's like I wish they pulled the trigger on people, like when the crowd or just when it makes sense, like, just because go with it when you have someone who has that star power and shit. Like, and with Becky they did that. You know what I mean? It's good because we all know how the crowd has been behind her before. Before she got the belt and everything. So,
well, she was, to me, excuse me, at the time, she was like the babyface. She was the Daniel Bryan of the women's division. She was the Johnny Gargano, when he was a babyface of the women's division. So, but man, I don't even, and it's horrible for a podcast, but I just don't even fucking have words. She's surpassed anything that I would have expected her to do. And she's not like exaggerating when she comes on SmackDown and says, no one's thought I would be the talk of the industry, but here I am.
Yeah.
And it's true.
She's speaking truth.
And it's especially like looking back, if we were to look back a couple of years ago at, the four of them between Charlotte and Sasha, Becky, and Bayley. A lot of people would have put Becky at the top of that.
No, yeah.
No offense to Becky, I probably would have put her at the bottom.
Yeah, most definitely. But
at that time.
Yeah. But now it seems like Sasha and Bayley have kind of
Yeah,
got
we'll,
out of the
taken
limelight
the-
a bit there.
we'll go into it later when we talk about Raw, but
no,
I would say they're floundering.
yeah. But just the change of character, even the change of costume. Like, no offense, I hated Becky's whole steampunk fucking costume.
Yeah,
shit.
the goggles.
Like that
you
girl's
never-
gorgeous. Yeah, she got a great body, and I like how they put her. You put someone in black clothes, and
Yeah.
make them play a heel. It just fucking works.
They got rid of the smoke in the entrance, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
having some mic issues tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. But they got rid of the smoke and they changed the background
yeah,
of her entrance.
and it's good when something like that works because they've tried, promoting other wrestlers, and sometimes it just doesn't click. But with Becky, it clicked perfect.
oh yeah,
And with Ronda, it was a little rough at the beginning, at least for me. But now it's clicking.
yeah. No, shout out to both. Of
I'm
them.
a fan now.
They've done of Ronda.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
wow.
But
That's
Yeah, I
those
didn't know-
are
that's news to
strong
me,
words.
too.
man.
I still don't necessarily agree with how
Coming
she got
from
to
you.
where she is right off the bat, but she's
But
taking
she
the
did-
situation, the pressure, and she's coming
holding
out.
the ball.
Yeah.
She didn't drop it.
No, she dropped it a bit in the beginning, but now she's like
Stumbled. Yeah.
she's doing great for just being tossed into this type of profession that requires some crazy moves and stunts and acting. you
Does,
know?
does she get one too?
Yeah.
yeah, might as well give her one.
I know we've given her one back on one of the past episodes, but shout out to Ronda.
Yeah.
Good for you. You've done well.
She's steering the ship on Raw
Yeah.
Yeah,
to a certain degree, you know.
Well, she kind of is, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you got
That's
Braun's out and Roman's out, and Seth is
Yeah.
doing his stuff with Dean. And personally, like I've said before, I still think Seth could be something.
This is totally just something I thought of earlier.
Yeah.
But do you think this is like a lot of this Roman not being here? Like he was for a long time the focus, like you know what I mean, the only focus, and I feel like now it's really like suffering for it because
Oh yeah.
they didn't focus on. They
Other
should have been
people.
focusing on multiple guys,
yeah.
man.
Mhm.
Have storylines to back up, and now that they've
The
lost.
reason
that,
SmackDown's not floundering
Like-
right now either.
Exactly, yeah. Like back in the day when Stone Cold got hurt, like you had
Triple
Rock,
H, The
Hunter,
Rock,
fucking
Booker
Jericho,
T.
but all
you
these
could
guys.
fall back on other
Yeah.
big names, but they promote and put so much time into one single wrestler. When
And I
that,
feel like
yeah,
now
The guys that they
they're-
put time into, they put time into you booing them.
yeah, not loving them.
You know,
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre,
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley, fucking Baron Corbin.
Braun Strowman up and down.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they spend, at least on Raw, they spend the majority when it isn't Roman of their time
Making heels for 'em.
making you boo somebody. So
Yeah, they do switch quite a bit between making somebody a heel and a baby face.
it sucks. Like it's happened to Braun a little too much, I would say, in 2018. And Big Show's had like 500 turns in his life. So, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully that's not Braun's future.
Oh fuck.
But back to kind of just because I want to get these out of Tanner at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a standout moment of 2018? Maybe of since you joined the LookBack and you've been, contributing to the shows here with us. Is there anything that jumps out at you? Like, even if it could be current. I mean, the Dean Ambrose thing,
Yeah, I was gonna
Bane
say
Ambrose.
the
from
most
last-
intense ones that have stuck out to me have been actually just recently
Yeah.
with the feud between Charlotte and Becky, between Ronda and Becky, between Ronda and the Bella Twins.
It's probably the best stuff of the year.
Yeah, with
Bella Twins, that goes back to what, SummerSlam? No, Evolution.
Yeah, Evolution.
Yeah. And even with Seth Rollins and Diener, like I love this feud.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know where it's going. And most of the time you look at a storyline, you can fucking figure out where it's going.
And
but,
you don't want it to end coming
No.
up here in a couple weeks at TLC.
No.
Not that I think it's going to. I just mean you'd rather it continue to rumble and
It's one of those storylines I think they can carry on for a good amount of time.
Do you think that one of them should be moved into the world title picture by Mania?
Yeah.
If once that ends, if the winner of that feud should if Seth loses,
It'd be cool
I
if
don't know.
Diener got that because Seth has already had that limelight,
Yeah,
I feel like.
Dean's had the belt before, but it was very
Yeah.
lackluster.
They never
SmackDown
really pushed
run.
him, but the character that Diener's playing, there's no way it's going to end good for him. He's playing like a badass heel.
But that's what I think I said that to you last week too, Donovan, off air, talking about how his character. I think it was this storyline. It might have been a different one. How he almost has to lose
Yeah.
because of all the bad shit that he's been doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it almost. I think it was this storyline. I might
Yeah,
not be
yeah,
sure,
no,
but
no,
I was comparing
it
it
was
to the
the
Booker
storyline.
T and
Yeah.
Triple H in the past, where people were Triple H should have lost that. The stuff he was saying to Booker T was so bad that it was like this guy needs to get his comeuppance, as they say, and he needs to lose. The good guy needs to prevail here. I don't know if that's what's going to happen with Dean and Seth. I kind of hope not, but then again, if Seth loses to Dean, that doesn't do much for Seth.
No.
I don't know.
The only, you know what, I was asked last week. This is totally not around, but the Rumble shit.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's a perfect segue because that was kind of my next. Because me, you, and Will talked about that. Was it last week?
Yeah,
Last week on the show. I was curious for Tanner's maybe Rumble prediction, and I don't know if you even gave one.
No, I said I would give it this week, and I didn't have a guy. And now talking about it, I mean, I could see Seth Rollins being that guy. I would like to see Seth Rollins be that guy, especially if things with him and Dean.
Answer me this: is the match at TLC with Dean and Seth? Is that for the IC belt?
It is, and I believe as of right now, it's still just a regular match.
Yeah, so he could lose that and then come out at the Rumble and win, and then like Tanner said, enter into the world title picture.
Seth's that guy, man. I'm a fan of the Iron Man performances. I'd love to see Seth do like from number 3 and just kill it.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened a lot lately, though.
Wouldn't it be cool to see like a
not
heel
with a winner?
No, that's true.
Yeah,
but with AJ and Daniel Bryan the last couple years, and
no, AJ wasn't.
He was in there a long time. He was out number 3, and he was in there for quite a while. Not till like the final 4 or anything, but he was in there a long time.
Yeah, I'd be
because I remember thinking he was going to win at that. Fuck, I missed that. That was such an awesome night when AJ debuted.
I'm curious to know how long he was in there. Yeah,
you could probably look it up.
And DB, that I write that off. That greatest Royal Rumble shit. I know he put on a performance, but.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I actually got mixed up there thinking that was last year's Rumble.
Oh, yeah, no.
He wasn't in last year's Rumble. Yeah. So maybe there wasn't any. It's kind of off topic, but yeah.
Well, we talked about it. Balor was the guy who did that.
And he was in the Final Four because it was what? It was Balor, Roman,
Cena,
Shinsuke, and somebody?
Cena? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about Shinsuke later when we go to SmackDown.
But do you have any Rumble predictions? Who could win the Royal Rumble, maybe?
Personally, I don't even know who the big names are that are in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know most of the guys. It's like...
Diener in there?
He probably will be, unless he beats Seth for the IC belt and then has a match against somebody, which I don't see happening. But
yeah,
it's more just like which wrestlers would you
like to see win?
Not even like, because you got to think of it this way: if they're winning the Rumble, they're in the main event of Mania.
Okay.
So who do you think is, changing gears, moving towards those tracks?
Well, personally, I would like to see Diener do that, but like Donovan said, Seth is a good candidate to push for that.
So from Raw, you guys are
like
thinking Seth or Dean? You don't think maybe Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Elias? I don't think it's going to be Elias.
I would be. I like Elias, man.
I know you've been on that was totally off topic, but Tanner watched Elias debut in NXT back in 2016. Elias Sampson, the Drifter, the whole character. But
I've been about him since he was like a cheesy ass heel, and then turning into a babyface character that he is now.
Yeah,
and I like to see him actually because you never barely even see him wrestle. He just comes out for like fucking comedy relief.
Yeah. No, and I think the last episode you were on, he had just turned babyface at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don, it looks like he's thinking quite a bit over there as far as all the names I kind of gave.
No, just to me, like, man, the Rumble, it should be used to help elevate, yeah. And not to say that Seth isn't elevated and hasn't been to the main event. He has been there, but like, I always still feel there's a little something missing. And I'm not saying this would help greatly. I feel like, especially the fact that people are so into him right now with the whole burn it down. Like, everyone's really been into this version of Seth Rollins. So I feel like him winning it, like, it would just, and to go on and win the belt.
Personally, for me,
against Brock at Mania
or whoever.
Yeah, personally for me, like, I feel like Seth is just already, he's been like recycled for, See,
like, but if not him, then who?
Any picks from SmackDown?
Well, that's what
that's what I mean. Like, I'm just over Seth. Like, he had his time. I liked him back when last year when he was pushed pretty hard. Yeah, they did fuck up.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, even if he gets pushed back into that limelight and like he's like running the shit again, it's just like, oh, okay.
I said it to you again off air the other night, and this is a little bit of a Wade Kellerism, but he should have been pushed as a babyface from the time he came back at Extreme Rules in
no doubt.
Like from then until now, equally. Like, back to your point about not just pushing Roman. I'm not saying don't push Roman. Push them both.
But they know that they've fucked that up, and that's why we've got this version of him to begin with. You know what I mean? They're trying to set him up for something.
Salvage. Yeah.
I just feel like this would be the piece to do it. As far as Drew McIntyre, I don't see him
being in that main event world title WrestleMania picture.
I feel like after WrestleMania, he's going to challenge for the title against someone. Like, he'll be more involved
next
in that
year.
Picture. Yeah, because he's already on the cusp, I would say.
Yeah.
But definitely next year. Yeah.
So what's he going to do at Mania then? Not to get too hung up on Drew, but Is he going to win the fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
No, he could end up doing something with Braun. I could see.
Like
Just off the top of my head.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that's just off the...
Because I don't think this stable, if that's what you want to call it, is going to be around that long.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you have any more questions?
For Tanner? No, the rest of them are kind of for all of us. Those ones were more the casual fan.
Yeah.
The rest are kind of us. I got some stuff about 2018. I mean, me and you can get our opinions in this one as well, Donovan. Just
sure.
Wrestler of the Year so far. Like I said, I don't know if we're branding this as our best of show, but we're getting there. I mean, we're only 4 weeks left in the year, so if we miss it, this is our best of the year.
I'm gonna let you two answer before I answer.
So I guess it would be like our personal.
Yeah.
Personal opinion definitely comes into play here.
Wrestler of the Year. I'm trying to think who's done great things in the year of 2018.
Yeah. Who was someone that was pretty well casual and just in the back lines, and now they're killing it.
I can think of somebody, and I can't tell if Tanner's thinking of somebody and just waiting for us to answer.
Yeah.
I already got someone in mind.
So do I, but I think it's probably the same person that you're thinking of. And for me, without a doubt, it's Becky Lynch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I agree completely.
As of right now, no one's turned heads like that.
Yeah.
Maybe she hasn't had the all-star matches from January to now.
Yeah.
But as far as turning heads in pro wrestling in 2018, Becky Lynch.
Yeah, no word of a lie. That's exactly who I was thinking about too.
Yeah, if not her.
It's also put it the best. Who has turned heads? Who has, like I said, in the fucking back stands, and now look at her.
Yeah.
And she's killing it.
If not her.
Just to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't necessarily say her is just because it's been very much now in the latter part of the year.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her continue this momentum and
I think it will
rise all through next year.
As long as they don't fuck the story up.
Be the champion, but just continue to grow and evolve and do more, innovative things.
Yeah. As long as they don't fuck the story up. But if they fuck
with
the
her,
story, yeah.
They seem to be letting her kind of. I don't know if
she's
it's
good on
some of the
mic.
stories are great and the characters. I don't know if it's the wrestlers getting more involved, like with Daniel Bryan with what he's been doing this week. We'll talk about later, and Becky and her character. I don't know if it's just them letting the wrestlers get more input on the character, but it's fucking working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I got another one for you.
Yeah,
maybe a Dolph Ziggler. I definitely think he's picked up his fucking game, man.
Yeah,
his 2018 was a lot better than his 2017
for sure. Yeah.
See, Ziggler is one of those wrestlers for me at least that is just I could care less.
Same, but he's turned some heads this year from where he was. It's
Last
not
year.
to say he's amazing, the best guy ever. It's just he's come a long way. Maybe this is kind of turning into most improved wrestler of 2018.
I was gonna say I don't think he had the star power turning heads like Becky did.
I just think him and Seth had some really good matches in the summertime.
Yeah,
that deserves to put him at least in the conversation.
Yeah,
that's all. As well as, and we talked about it already a little bit at the beginning. Ronda's been here for a year now, and she's done a pretty good job.
Yeah,
true.
I would put it there in the top 3.
Yeah,
the girls have killed.
She hasn't had the best matches, but I just mean. Again, for what I expected, she's done a pretty freaking good job.
Well, that's the women's wrestling for me at least. The storylines have been better, and the wrestling has been better for me. I'm more interested and intrigued when I see them on the screen.
Oh, as am I.
Yeah.
Same here. I can see Donovan's thinking a lot. How about Braun Strowman? Would
he's been all over the map?
Do you allow it? Yeah, is he in the conversation? Because I would put him there.
He's
maybe.
in the convo.
There's not many guys on SmackDown other than AJ.
What we're looking at,
but
right?
there's so many. I feel opinions, perspectives that come into this.
Yeah, I
and
think it's
Strowman, he's been everywhere.
Personal preference type of.
Of course,
thing.
Of course.
I don't know, man. It might sound cliche, and you just said it, but AJ's just. I know we could say last year too.
No, AJ.
I would probably say AJ just for the fact that he always has showed. He just always shows up. He showed up,
and he was a champion all year.
He's continuous, and he's a great wrestler.
Yeah. So that would probably be my pick.
It's a fair one.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about...
I would say Shinsuke, but they killed him. It's been a worse year for him than last year.
Yeah. So safe to say AJ, Becky, Ronda.
Yeah.
I'd say those are
That's a good top 3.
Pretty standout, performances of 2018.
And I would like to see our boy Seth turn it up.
Same.
Year. Even more. There's something missing.
I mean,
I don't know what it is.
He helped me put Ziggler in that conversation. There is no Ziggler in that conversation with the matches he had with Seth. So
I may be a Diener
couldn't agree
lover,
more.
but I'm gonna put Diener in there. But
he's had a great comeback here ever
just
since.
recently though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, even since he came back and joined the Shield and shit when he was a babyface,
Yeah.
like, it was, you could tell there was something was up.
Well,
Maybe it was leading all to this.
I want to
hopefully.
give a honorable mention because I've just been such a fan of him. But this goes to NXT. But Tommaso Ciampa is fucking. I think he's.
No, that's a
he can
great.
be in that
This
talk.
isn't only Raw and SmackDown. I mean,
Yeah.
you can talk, Kenny Omega or
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes if you want,
Yeah,
but
they get enough from.
yeah, exactly.
I love all those guys, but they
They get enough praise.
Yeah.
But no,
Ciampa,
it's a good one.
I feel he's
Ciampa's-
someone who should get a little praise. And
There's a
definitely-
few guys down there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Alistair, Velveteen. They're all.
for sure.
It's been a good year of wrestling. That's for sure.
Yes.
Do you guys have anything? I mean, I don't expect you to have something quickly off the top of your head, but is there anything that jumps out for match of the year?
Oh yeah, I actually right off the bat. I
Go.
thought about this
Because
earlier.
for me, this is tougher
I got one already.
really and perfect.
Can I hear yours?
Because I'm the
just
question
curious.
asker, so it's perfect that you guys can be the answers.
but my favorite match would probably have to be Charlotte and Ronda match.
You're loving this feud.
Yeah.
The one from
The one
Just
from
recently.
yeah.
That was fucking
Was it the finish or was it the
whole match and the drama and the acting. All of it just clicked.
Other than the beginning, I remember you weren't a big. We talked about that last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
We know you weren't a big fan of the squaring up and punching, but
Yeah, if they get better at that, it'll be a lot more believable and less cringy. But I don't know. But that for me is at least a match that comes right to my head when I think about match of the year. But just the way Ronda sold that at the end when she walked out, crowd was so mixed on whether they loved or hated her. There was legit real blood. They beat the shit out of each other. The only other match is also another women's match, and that was Becky and Charlotte.
Yeah, that was good too. I'm trying to think of, for me, like, I don't know. Is there anything you had one too, Don?
Oh yeah, I had a couple non-WWE. I'm trying to think of a WWE one. One automatically that jumped out of me. I've said it many a times on different shows. When I can buy in and don't really know who's gonna win, like you got me,
Yeah.
for sure. That match, man, earlier in the year with it was Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi against the Bucks.
Yes,
That was
I know what
fucking
one you're talking about.
Insane.
I didn't watch the whole
I
thing, but
legit didn't know who was gonna win watching it live. I love that, getting me on a false finish and just the great in-ring work, and it was a tag match too.
Mhm.
Awesome match. And also the well, I don't know if that would be classified as, but yeah, no, WWE. I'm trying to think of some.
I
that
got
have really,
2. I've sat
maybe
here
you
and
can
kind
give
of.
me.
I've got one of them's kind of just to be funny, and it's more for me. Brock beating Roman at Mania. Roman losing at WrestleMania in the main event. I'm sorry, but that's just awesome for my personal.
The
Roman.
vendetta is still strong.
Hey, all the best to Roman. We wish you the best, but I've never been a fan of your character, and I'm not going to change. You know what I mean? It's a wrestling character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and the other one, and I don't want to, bounce off what Tanner was saying too much, but in the sense that it was recent, but Daniel Bryan and Brock, that match was fucking
Yeah, that was
wicked.
really good too. I was thinking of that.
And that was more back what you said. I didn't know who was going to win. Like, I actually didn't. I thought Brock was.
You're
but,
right. Yeah, that's
but-
when he got suplexed like 100 times.
Yeah, but when he kicked Brock in the nuts, I was like, oh fuck,
He's got it.
he's going to beat
Yeah.
him. Like so that alone does something there. And I can't think of
remember
it.
who won that one. Who did?
Brock beat
Right,
him.
he
Yeah.
did, yeah.
But just, the not knowing, and you're thinking, oh shit, does he got a chance? He's got to kick him in the nuts to have a chance. But still, I don't know why there's some multi-man matches that are sticking out to me. I can't remember anything specific, but how was the Money in the Bank with Braun? I feel like that match wasn't too bad, no? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the best memory as far as going
don't know
back
if
to
I
matches
was-
like that, but
Huge on it.
obviously if it doesn't stick out like crazy to me like that, then
Yeah.
it wasn't anything overly special. I also enjoyed Shinsuke AJ at Greatest Royal Rumble. That was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah. But I don't know. Donovan's still.
Honorable mention to my boy again, Ciampa. Just
Yeah.
because that match recently with Velveteen, I loved. There was
I was
the
gonna
one
say,
critique
the
I
stuff,
have about
the
it.
stuff what he did with Gargano this year.
All
though,
that,
too,
no, but that's
was-
what I mean. Just him in general. That's why he gets in that conversation for wrestler
You
of the year.
can give
for
him
me.
that
So
title if you think he deserves it more than AJ.
it's a toss up. You know what I mean? Because now you just reminded me. Yeah, all the stuff with Gargano too. Like fuck
man.
me. Yeah.
Even like, what was the match? People forget. I think it was Cien Almas versus Gargano.
Yes.
at like Takeover. There was the WrestleMania Takeover.
Yeah, I think.
That was a good match.
I do remember watching that with you, though. Yeah, that was really good as well.
It's definitely been some good shit this year.
Yeah. I love all this stuff with Jericho, too, over in New Japan.
Yeah.
Like Jericho.
Character stuff for me is what's really done it, not necessarily his in-ring.
Yeah.
Not that I say it's bad. I just haven't watched enough of it to comment on that.
Yeah. And everything he's done I've really enjoyed, match-wise, too. So.
Yeah, and we played that clip a few weeks back now, but I remember playing the clip on the show.
I know there's a ton of stuff. Maybe I'll get some more in the coming weeks before the year's over.
Okay.
Because I know there's a lot more WWE that I'm just not off the top of my head thinking about.
Yeah. No, that was pretty much all the questions I had for 2018. I've got some other ones. We don't necessarily have to bring them up tonight if you don't want. Why don't we go with this? Okay. TLC's coming up. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I believe it is.
Yeah.
From when you're listening to this, in 2018. What are some of, and I don't know if you can speak too much on this, Tanner. If you can, it's all good. We like having you here as a casual fan for some of these reasons. But is there any TLC matches of the past that stick out to you, possible favorites for a multitude of reasons? The match itself, the wrestlers in the match, the time and place you were at when you watched it. Is there anything like that sticks out?
I know I've seen a few, but honestly,
they're hard to
remember.
No,
and
I
who
totally
was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have a whole bunch now. I think the one was it a TLC match with Seth and Roman Donovan at Money in the Bank that year when all three guys won the belt in the same night, or was that just a regular match?
No, I believe it was just a regular match.
It was a regular.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember, but
it was a good match though. Right. So,
it was, yeah, and it was. I always thought that was cool that Seth, Dean, and Roman all won the belt in the same night. I was just trying to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don, did you? Because I know I didn't expect Tanner to have too many, specifics. He's gonna name me all the guys in the match or whatever. But
like just of any time.
Yeah,
really?
just and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like the match. It's more like if you have a specific match that, it was a time and place in your life that you remember, it sticks out for some reason. Just I don't know.
Man.
I thought it'd be cool to talk on some TLC stuff.
I can't remember the exact. Okay, the year it was the Shield's first match.
Okay. The debut match.
Yeah, and it was against Ryback, Daniel Bryan, and Kane, and that was their first actual match in.
But all
WWE. All they had done is attack people and promos and stuff like that.
That's what I was gonna say.
And it was just it was chaotic. There's so much going on and a lot of great shit. And to have that be the debut of these guys, just more fucking that gang, that pack mentality, as fucking Michael Cole loves to throw out there. Yeah, that wasn't one that jumped off the top. Like other than the obvious,
they're gonna get that for the Young Bucks, remember?
Yes, yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, those that was a wicked TLC match that might not get talked about as
too
much as the classic,
Well, the Hardy Boys. I figured that's kind of a given. I mean, we've all seen most of those, and they're probably the best TLC matches in WWE history, I would say. But sorry, you go, because I got one, but mine's more of a nostalgia feel kind of time and place in my life. Not necessarily the best TLC match of all time.
I don't think it would. No, it wasn't a TLC match. Though. It was just a ladder. It was just a straight ladder match. The one I was thinking of. You know what? There was one back at a SummerSlam of 2009, and these are two of my guys. So Nick, you're gonna just love this one.
Fuck.
But it was Punk and Hardy.
Oh,
it was a good.
I was expecting Del Rio. I got to be honest.
Oh fuck,
Del Rio.
No, but I remember his. It was during.
We don't need to talk about him.
You don't want to hear a little El Patron?
No. I'm just kidding. Go.
It wasn't that memorable, but I remember it just due to the Punk whole title reign thing. It must have been like 2012, I guess. 2013. Punk defending against The Miz and Del Rio. Not necessarily one of my favorites, but it was not bad.
Yeah.
Definitely the one with Punk and Hardy from 2009 though at the SummerSlam. That was a good match. I
kind of want to see that. Even though I'm not a huge Hardy fan, I wouldn't mind going back.
Yeah.
Hardy 09, Punk 09, I wouldn't mind.
Get down with,
I could get down with that. Like I said, the only one that I kind of had in my notebook or brain is the John Cena Edge TLC match from Unforgiven 2007. Excuse me. That one, kind of holds a special place in my heart because I was in the building. It was an epic pay-per-view to be at, with there being a Hell in a Cell match and a TLC match.
Yeah.
It was kind of the culmination of the John Cena Edge feud as far as the first time around. They had feuded and wrestled at SummerSlam in John Cena's hometown of Massachusetts, and I remember Edge had won that match with Lita, kind of hitting Cena with the brass knuckles outside the ring, and it was a big deal because Edge, I think he retained his belt, and it was in Cena's hometown.
Yeah.
So then they went back the following pay-per-view. Edge was kind of I think he was forced to be in another match with Cena because of, the cheating. And he said, this is going to be in a match that I'll never forget it. I can picture the promo. It's probably because I have the DVD too, but it's going to be in a match that I've never lost. And he's, TLC match in my hometown, Toronto. And I remember we were at home and we were like, what? We're getting, because we had already had our tickets. We were already going.
Just not knowing
what it was.
Nice.
So, shout out to my buddy AJ and Hurdy. Fucking Hurdy got grounded that week and wasn't allowed to come with us. But shout out to AJ and his little brother. And yeah, we were super excited, obviously, when we found out about the TLC, and then we went, and the match was awesome. It was they were all over the fucking
I gotta
place.
ask you quick, just before, because I've seen pieces of it. I don't know if I've watched it in its entirety. I know the crazy bump that Edge.
There's a lot of them.
But
There's two.
What was do you remember at all, the atmosphere? Because I know the crowd, Jag talked about this a lot with me often, how just everywhere Edge was so hated, but here it was
oh yeah.
And it's obviously he's from.
He was loved.
Was it
It was. It's harder for me to remember because
Yeah.
I was probably 13 at the time. I don't know the exact math, but it was definitely, the crowd was definitely pro Edge, and I've watched it back on DVD, and you can definitely tell.
Were you? Because I know you like Cena.
No,
back then.
definitely
So you
not.
were
I was
on the Cena,
disappointed.
huh?
I was wearing a Cena t-shirt, I'm
That's
pretty sure.
crazy.
Actually, no, I was wearing a DX t-shirt.
That's crazy.
But I had the Cena green
Yeah.
chain gang. So yeah, but I was also 13. Cena was literally geared towards me.
Yeah.
13-year-old boy. So it's
at that point he was still very much,
Oh yeah, but he wasn't quite Super Cena with all the colors and
no
crazy shit yet. He was
I
still,
just mean still pretty beloved.
Oh yeah, and he was pushing the whole military gimmick. That was really
the hat.
The hat and the trippy. I don't know how to do it. I wish I could show people on video, but he kind of I don't know how he does it. He puts just his pinky down. He can hold his hand up and just put his pinky down.
That's very challenging.
Yeah, that is very challenging.
He's not human, man. I'm telling you, this guy's he's one of them lizard people
I was
or
just
something.
gonna say that.
Maybe that could be a new gimmick, man. It's just the cyborg Cena.
Maybe he comes out now. He's gimmick infringement on Kenny Omega, but that would be cool if he came out all.
That's in that new movie, eh?
Which one?
Bumblebee.
Oh yeah. I want
to
to see it. I gotta be honest.
I had to mention
another
match.
TLC.
Yeah, because man, I know you haven't seen it, but we have to watch it, all three of us at some point. Just
Yeah.
because, fuck, dude. I don't necessarily know if it was a TLC, but it was at the TLC pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure it was because they used ladders, tables, chairs.
Yeah.
Or at least tables,
Okay.
ladders.
And stairs.
But it was John Cena.
No stairs.
Shout out to no stairs. Maybe a little bit. But
There was one year, Tanner, where they called it
oh, fuck.
TLC, and then I remember the DVD. It said and stairs.
Yeah, tables, ladders, chairs.
And stairs were game, eh?
Yeah.
One
It's just
stairs
they're
match
always
is
game.
fucking-
They're always
there.
game. Yeah, they're there.
You can
Yeah.
throw somebody into the stairs in a regular match that isn't DQ and not get disqualified. I didn't want to get you off topic, sorry.
And turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You know what I mean?
And match.
But no, shout out to Cena, man, because it was Cena in this one I'm talking about as well. It was
Oh,
John
really?
Cena and Dolph Ziggler. So Dolph Ziggler was actually,
What year was this?
this was 2012,
Okay.
and Dolph Ziggler super fucking over at this time. This is one of those scenarios where I talked about them, pulling the trigger on people at times and stuff
Yeah.
So he actually had to put his Money in the Bank briefcase on the line against Cena. And I remember it was one of those situations again where you don't really know who's going to win, because knowing how WWE is, they might take the briefcase away from old Dolphy, right? Give
Yeah.
it to Cena. I wouldn't have been surprised if that happened. I would have been pissed, but I wouldn't have been surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But just a hell of a fucking match, man. And the crowd was so into Dolph. You got it's comparing to what you see now. It's wild.
Different.
If you watch it, yeah, it's just totally.
No, I'm down to watch that too. Let's set it up. Maybe do a look back.
Yeah,
I know we're going to get some look backs of the Royal Rumbles coming soon.
yeah, for sure.
If you're listening, get at us. Let us know what Royal Rumbles are on the radar for interest for look backs. We're talking about doing maybe just the Rumble look back and seeing how that goes. So stay tuned. But I think that was probably a little loud. I think we should maybe move on to Raw and SmackDown. I think we've touched on enough for so far.
Yeah, brush over the brands.
Yeah, I mean, we got about 20 minutes left in the show, so we'll see how what we can get through. But Tanner was here for Raw this week.
Yes.
So
Was I.
Yeah, well, you usually are. You make it out most of the time, especially as of late. So even though they've been not so good.
I'm more here to just hang with you guys.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Was there, aside from hanging with the boys, was there anything that stuck out to you, Tanner, from this week's shitty Raw?
No, it was real bad. Dono, you left at like 10. You were like, fuck this.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I was just going to say that. Like, it
was just bad. The cringiest thing was when Bailey was running around that chair. But
oh, fuck. That promo in general.
That segment, what was that? What the
It's weird.
They did it last week.
it was with a Bliss. And then,
They did it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on this, and I
no.
I don't want to talk about Baron Corbin too much, but
I can't remember what happened in Raw, essentially, except like Baron Corbin just fucked with shit.
And that's pretty much been Raw for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what they're doing. I really think like the only thing that I can think of, and I said this to you on the phone too, Donovan, they're trying to just make people hate Baron Corbin so much because whatever they've got planned for beating him, they're hoping that like people pop like crazy when that happens.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can think of. Like, why would you make this guy so hated every week? Like, it's like he's playing 2K out there. Like, just, we're changing the match. We're changing this. Like, we're changing that. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's just been a shit show.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll just glaze through. We'll talk a little bit about Ronda. But I know you were here for this, Donovan. How about our boy Elias's hair? How about the hair? Shout out to 3 Legs 4 Wheels. Not that you guys listen, but if you do, how about the hair game on
a little
Elias?
Randy Savage.
He was missing the oil, He had no gel in that. It was really frizzy.
Dude, I told you, if he put on a robe, he was Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, he could easily have gone as Jesus for Halloween with that hair.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I know you guys...
Whoever did his makeup, makeup artist or whatever.
Hair, yeah.
Like, they blew or blow dried his hair and definitely didn't put in that oily gel.
No, not like Seth and Roman.
Looked like he just came out of like I don't even know.
A blow dryer.
Tunnel.
Wind tunnel, yeah. But, I don't know. There wasn't much else on Raw, man. It was a bad show. Ronda fought.
Nothing.
That was probably the highlight of the night, and Dawn had already taken off at that point. We had a tag team match with Ember Moon, Ronda Rousey, and Nia Jax and Tamina.
I can't remember who won that.
Nia Jax tapped out Tamina. Do I remember how they got to that point? No.
Nia Jax tapped out.
Ronda Rousey tapped out Tamina.
Yeah.
So not Nia. Obviously, they're not going to have that happen on Raw.
Yeah.
But I just want to get your guys' opinion because this doesn't really require having seen the match or really watched much of Raw. But is Ronda fighting on Raw? Is that still a big deal in your guys' opinion?
Excuse me. No, not as much. I'm more used to her now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's good that she fights more than just pay-per-views.
Like, I like it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you want her to fight every week? Or do you kind of like the...
She's kind of, that, like...
Sorry, go.
You should not use her too much because people are going to get bored of her. But she needs to be used a little bit more than what she's being used.
Yeah.
But you only see her on pay-per-views. Other than that, you just see her do promos at Raw or SmackDown. Or Raw. I don't think she goes on to SmackDown too much.
No, she's only on Raw.
Yeah. But...
I don't have much of a problem with actually the way they're handling it now because we don't see her fight every week.
No, but that's what I mean. Do you think she should stand out from the other women, or should she have the same type of schedule as anybody else on the roster?
No, same. Like right now, honestly, like I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, no, so am I. I was just more. It's good conversation, and I was curious about your guys' opinion.
Yeah, no, I like it this way. Like, I don't necessarily want to see her fighting every week.
No, not at all.
Because she is the champ. You know? It's the same way with Becky. Like, we don't see her fighting every week.
No, you see him come in, do some heel things or babyface, do some promos, and then see him fight a little bit, maybe lead up to a pay-per-view.
Or next week.
Yeah. I think they do that with a lot of like they rotate the wrestlers, and their storylines.
Oh, for sure. And Ronda's, like you guys said, she's definitely had more matches in the last 3 months than the 3 or 6 months prior to that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we gave her applause earlier. But shout out to Ronda. You were probably one of the only good parts of Raw this week.
Well, shout out, honestly, just for me, I'll shout out to Ember Moon just because I really like her wrestling ability.
Yeah. Oh no, she is good.
I do. I like her.
She's good.
And we've talked about this since day one, though. She's not going to be able to do that move for a long time.
Yeah, she's got to find a new finisher. Yeah, I think.
Why is that?
Because landing on your ass
probably hurts.
Consistent. Well, it's not that it. I mean, I'm sure it probably does. I can't speak to that. Donovan might. I don't know, but it's more just like it's one of those moves where, like, if you're doing, because they don't wrestle once a week, right? They wrestle house shows and they're wrestling 4 or 5 times a week. So that's a move that if you're doing that 5 times a week,
it's going to take a toll on your body.
50, 48 weeks a year.
Yeah.
That's
plus practice.
Exactly. Well, it's one of those things that starts to, your spine gets fucking compressed, man. It's not.
And she's coming off the top rope. So there's a lot more. Like Fandango, when he first came in, he used to do a leg drop off the top rope. And he stopped. Like, he had to stop.
Shout out Kenny from the Spirit Squad.
He did. Well, right. Yes. And like, Hogan is like a great example.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't do one off the top rope.
No, he just did a leg drop. That was Hogan's finisher. Right?
Yeah. And over the years, he's had so many back surgeries and his spine
shrunk. Apparently, I didn't even know that
because of that.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where we look at it and we're like, it looks cool. She does like you've seen it probably, the 180 stunner.
Yeah.
Off the top rope, but I don't know.
She's a great wrestler.
Think about kind of what, down the line.
I'd like to see her a little bit more in the limelight, but.
Yeah, same here. I was happy they gave her the tag match with Ronda.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have expected that. She's been involved in garbage fucking feuds lately, so.
Yeah. She had a little bit there with Nia Jackson or whatever, didn't she? But.
Yeah, like a mini.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, yeah.
My favorite thing that not that they did it. I don't even know what this really classifies as, but when her and Asuka had that moment at Evolution, and the crowd started chanting NXT, I watched a lot of them too in NXT, so that I was like, I like that. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see more in the new year. Hopefully, good things to come for her.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Yeah,
for sure. So SmackDown was much better, much better. We had a pretty good segment. I know Tanner didn't get a chance to see this show, so we'll fill him in a little bit. Miz and Shane have been doing back and forth stuff. Miz is kind of trying to make Shane his tag team partner.
Yeah.
And because they won the Greatest Royal Rumble thing together. Or not Greatest Royal Rumble, sorry. What the fuck was
Best in the world.
Best tournament, Best in the World at the Saudi Crown Jewel show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck, dude. Wrestler of the Year, Shane McMahon.
Well, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, he is the best in the world. We didn't even think of that, man. That's a good call. Fuck.
That sweaty, crazy bastard.
But yeah, no, they had a funny. It was just funny and not much to talk about, but it was a good segment, not something that was cringe or skippable. I would have wanted to see that, and it was good.
Yeah.
Asuka, Becky, Charlotte had a good little in-ring segment at the beginning of the night. They were kind of going back and forth. I liked Becky. I think this was before you got here, Don.
Yeah.
Becky kind of just looked at them both. Like everybody was kind of bickering, and then Becky kind of just looked at both of them because they were talking about who's going to beat Ronda. And she looked at both of them and was like, neither one of you are going to beat Ronda. And neither one of you are going to beat me at the pay-per-view for my belt. She signed the contract and she left. Nice. And then the other two were still in the ring. Charlotte and Asuka were still like bickering at each other back and forth. I'm going to beat you, this and that. It was just awesome how Becky's like, neither one of you are going to beat Ronda and sign the contract, and you're not beating me either, and just fucking dip.
She's badass.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
She sells it.
She brings up a great point, though. Like, you guys got to fucking
focus on...
deal with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to deal with this first.
Yeah, you're focusing on the Raw champion, not the SmackDown one. That was good. And then I didn't like it because it happens not every week, but more or less every week. We ended up with a tag team match.
I was going to say, can I guess?
Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville versus Charlotte and Asuka. Because Mandy and Sonya came out and they're like, we should be getting this. Paige, you groomed us. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Fuck, I don't know.
Asuka and Charlotte take it to them?
Yeah, but it's like you guys were just screaming at each other 2 minutes ago. I don't want to see you tag team.
Yeah.
And I know they're both...
There was kerfuffle in there.
Yeah, there was.
They're kind of like backstabbing each other while wrestling there.
Yeah, and they were in the match. Don's right. Yeah. There was a bit of kerfuffle, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It was an okay segment, I guess. The beginning with Becky and the contract signing worked out very well. But the new Daniel Bryan. I don't know how much Tanner's seen of the
new.
Yeah, you got to see the new.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
What's
seen
this new.
Well, he's a heel now.
Beauty.
And he This week was incredible.
I guess you've seen a not much of a talking bit, but a glimpse of him at Survivor Series with that
Black,
type of,
how he was a little bit different. He wasn't doing the yes chant.
Honestly, I hate babyface Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, well, you didn't see a lot of. I'm not a particularly huge fan either, but you didn't, or neither did I, see his real, uprising that he had.
People loved him then. But
in
keep someone a
2014?
babyface for too long.
No, and we didn't watch it, so we don't have that resonance with
Crowd
I was
him,
there
yeah.
cheering him on at that time. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. What he's doing now is like, fuck. What are you comparing? He's like the Joker mixed with Kurt Cobain mixed with
Kurt Cobain.
like.
Well, just his swagger. You should see the
Oh,
shit he's
it's
wearing.
and he's got straggly, greasy hair, and like he kind of like he was like smiling at
Is
Brock.
he just going a little crazy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Remember when he lost to
Yeah,
Brock? He was
yeah.
laughing.
But bro,
Yeah.
so this week, and I don't know where it was. He was talking backstage first. I think he was in a promo, right? But I just remember when he got out on Miz TV with Miz and started talking about the plastic water bottles and the methane gases produced from animal farming and like all the what I mean, like the
Yeah.
the McDonald's meat and people drinking water bottles and it was just Daniel Bryan. It was like you can tell that this guy wrote this shit or at least sat down with the writer and said like, this is what I'm thinking.
He just got some crazy random shit.
Yeah, and he's about that life because he's all about, green earth type of guy. Like that's who he is at its core, not his character. That's just who Daniel Bryan is. So
Respect to that.
to bring that in and I mean, I thought it was kind of weird that they were making that like the heel thing. Like I don't know if they were trying to get the crowd to boo him chirping people that drink water bottles because like realistically like
everyone does.
Well, not even. No, it's more like he's talking about good things to save the planet. Like you know what I mean. So it's not necessarily heel tactics, but I like that they're trying new shit.
I've seen it in the past with other wrestlers, and even Daniel Bryan, like during his first world title run. But it can become like it can still be used as a heel tactic, as in a sense of it like becomes almost preachy at a point. You know what I mean?
I can agree with.
Like with to bring him up again, but Punk when he was like the heel straight edge, like you guys all drink, like what the fuck's wrong? But everyone, like you know what I mean?
It's just cringy.
I guess that's true.
Becoming
because
almost
Punk
preachy.
used to do that too.
Yeah.
No, that's not cringy. I think that's. In my opinion, I think that's...
For storyline, though, I know CM Punk probably... I don't know if he actually does drink or not.
No, he's straight straight edge.
I don't know. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, it's almost like with Khabib and McGregor. Like, Khabib doesn't drink. And, like, that's believable, not cringy there. But, like, when you take someone's beliefs and you bring it into... I don't like to use this word, but, like, a fake storyline. Like, they're all storylines, right?
Yeah.
It's just, like, come on.
I like it to be as real as...
I don't like
Daniel Bryan doing that whole...
Not necessarily Daniel Bryan, because he didn't call it... Well, I guess it is the same thing as CM Punk.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's a different angle for someone to play a heel, like Sal said,
and be preaching good things, but coming off as a bad...
It's like,
especially with what Donovan said in the sense that when he's, quotes, preaching them.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've talked about this, and we don't want to get on this, but we don't have it. I don't even know. Forget it. I don't even want to get into it.
There's a difference between telling and talking to someone and respecting their opinion, or just laying it on them. But
I was gonna go down the religion road, but
I almost went vegan.
We'll stay here. No, I don't mean me. I mean this conversation.
Yeah,
We'll stay away from that.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan came out for comment. That's what he was backstage. He's like, I'm going to do commentary. Remember they interviewed him and he's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to do commentary. And he went out and he was on commentary like screaming at Byron Saxton about his carbon footprint and all this stuff. Like, how many water bottles?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like he was it was epic. But I don't remember. It was Miz versus who, right?
AJ.
In the main event?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the main event, Miz versus AJ. And I don't remember how Daniel got involved, but basically he got involved and beat the fuck out of Miz.
Yeah. AJ.
Oh, yeah. What am I saying? Not Miz. Sorry, AJ. And the show went off air with Daniel Bryan giving him submission. Like, he beat the shit out of him.
I remember you showing me that.
Yeah. And he beat the shit out of him, stomped on his face the same way he did, a couple weeks ago, and then left the ring, and it was kind of like, okay, the show's going to end.
Oh, maybe that's one I saw. He did it again.
Yeah, he did
Tuesday.
it again on Tuesday because AJ was fighting The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of helped The Miz win in a way. Not like intentionally, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And then beat up AJ.
That's one way to promote a heel, though, because like AJ, I feel like the guy's like sweet and he's neutral. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
he always plays a good.
Not
baby
even
face,
neutral.
but-
He's like the good guy.
Yeah,
AJ's
he's like the
baby
face.
Like,
Yeah, definition of it.
Yeah.
So
no,
and like the Miz. Oh, I can't stand the Miz, to be honest with you. But that's just so weird for Daniel Bryan to help the Miz out.
it wasn't
from,
that he helped him
like-
intentionally, and I wish we could talk about it like more.
Yeah.
But when they were on Miz TV, you could tell that he wasn't, being buddy with him just because he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's not like, oh, we're both bad guys.
But like,
now.
why
we
is
might
he?
as well be friends.
Why is he jumping AJ? What's his feud? What's the angle?
He
Do we know?
he won the title from AJ on SmackDown 2 weeks ago.
And what?
That's why I don't even know if we told Tanner that. But AJ or Daniel Bryan is the WWE champion.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
from
good.
Survivor Series.
But since he beat AJ and took the belt, why is he still going after the guy?
Oh yeah, you knew that because you saw him with the belt at Survivor Series against Brock.
Oh yeah.
Just slipped your mind. But yeah, it's why is he going after AJ?
Yeah, even
'Cause
after he beat him.
AJ's got a rematch clause, and he only beat him with a low blow.
He went the dirty, eh?
Yeah, he beat him with the low blow, and
They're
that's how he
promoting
got
him
the
from a
belt.
heel angle, which is good and refreshing for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
But
For sure. So I just thought, and I was like,
they changed his gear and everything.
well, he got rid of the blue and green. I think he's just wearing black now, and then
Yeah.
he wears his fucking Kurt Cobain sweater when he comes out and does a promo on SmackDown. Shout out Kurt Cobain. I can't say I've ever listened to Nirvana song
I love fucking
in my life.
Nirvana's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to them, I guess. I can't speak for that. The only other thing about SmackDown I wanted to mention, and I already said it, but just I thought it was cool that they went off air in a submission because it looked like the beatdown was over, and then DB jumped back in the ring, beat him up a little bit more, put him in a submission, and then it was over. That was the show. The show closed.
What submission did he do?
Knee bar? Was it a knee bar or like a type,
like
a type
it
of
was
knee bar?
a knee bar heel hook type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of thing. So it was a cool way to end SmackDown. Definitely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Was there anything you guys wanted to talk about as far as this week in pro wrestling? Anything jump out to you?
No, not this week.
Well, I said at the beginning, just rest in peace to Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
He was probably most famously known for his role with being a tag team partner of the British Bulldog,
Yeah.
who we watched on that LookBack.
Yeah,
with,
that we did. Yeah.
And very influential to a lot of.
I didn't realize that
Lot
was
of
his roast me in the comments if that's the case, but I didn't realize that was what he was known for the most. To me, I think Dynamite Kid and I automatically think Japanese wrestling. Like it's just the first thing that
I don't
comes
want
to
to
my
say.
mind.
I don't want to. Most in the WWE,
Oh, okay.
like that's what he did. Over,
what he was known
yeah.
over here in
Yeah.
North America.
Yeah.
I got you. So yeah, rest in peace, Dynamite Kid.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
One of the legends
for sure.
of the sport. Was there something? There was something else we were talking about before. I figured we'd get on before. It was Neville.
Yes.
Did
I
you
was
want to
trying
get into that
I
a
was
little
trying
bit?
to get some facts on it, but I just.
You don't want to be spitting some game. That's
I
not,
don't want to spit some game that's not true.
Yeah.
I know
false.
he did win a title over in Dragon Gate, which is where he is now. Like it's a Japanese promotion where he actually was before his WWE. Right?
He was
So
he is a crazy wrestler.
yeah.
The moves that he does.
Well, and I was telling Nick, you know what I love about him is just he still very much keeps his character on, like 24/7. Just being
like
this
even
prick.
when he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
That's
just a prick.
dedication.
Yeah, which I love. Like
Yeah.
I think
Dragon
Kevin-
Gate though. I like the name of that promotion, wrestling. But
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a cool name for a company.
and I think you showed me something where he's going to be fighting Will Ospreay coming up soon.
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect little segue. Shout out to Simon, and if you are listening, thanks for listening, Simon. Sorry we never gave you a shout out in June after we met you at the F1 race, but we really appreciate all the Instagram and Twitter and all the stuff that you've been sending us, and I don't know, hopefully maybe one day we can get you on a Skype call and get you on the show. Shout out to Simon. Give him a follow on Twitter. I got to find my phone, so one of you guys maybe...
Well, another thing coming up. Do you remember Jack Swagger at all?
Yep.
So he's gonna have. Well, he's still doing pro wrestling. Like he's in like Lucha Underground and doing indie stuff.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have his first fight in MMA in Bellator actually,
Seriously, eh?
January 26th.
So he has like no record whatsoever?
No record, but he does come from like a collegiate wrestling background,
So he has fighting experience from
like
Beforehand.
Olympic style wrestling.
yeah, but not striking or
but
anything
not
like
striking or anything.
Oh, well,
like
we'll
that.
see how he goes. Who's he
But
fighting?
he's a big boy. Like he's fucking.
Yeah. Was he light heavyweight or heavyweight?
I don't know what weight class he's going to be fighting at. I'm curious. I would say probably light heavyweight or heavyweight.
Who's he
he's-
fighting? Do you know?
The guy he's fighting is I don't know how to pronounce the name. Kaiser.
Does he have like a 6-5 record or something? They're
No,
feeding, like,
the guy is
It's a Kaiser bun.
the Kaiser bun. The guy is and what? Like he has only one fight and he's lost.
he lost.
So it's a fair.
it's a fair fight, fair matchup. But
it'll be. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to tune in.
we're seeing like MMA fighters switch over to pro wrestling, and then people from pro wrestling switch over to
cool.
MMA.
I like it.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see the two businesses.
I got to show Tanner more Matt Riddle too.
Yeah.
We got to definitely show him. I'm not a biggest fan, but Tanner might like him,
you
and
like
it's growing on me. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, sorry. Shout out to Simon. I found the Twitter here. It's at SIWILLCO. So Cy Wilco. Shout out to him. It was he sent us a video of Jeff Jarrett hitting Jardo? I don't know. Gardo? I'm not sure. With a guitar and James Storm's last super kick. So it was kind of cool.
Oh.
He's always kind of sending us cool shit on Twitter, and we met him and he saw our Pro Wrestling Look Back shirts in Montreal. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Was there anything else you guys wanted to say? I had a few other shout outs I wanted to get in.
No, what were they? No, good.
Well, just as I figured I'd let people know, look out for me and Donovan are going to be on the Stringers podcast.
Oh, yes.
In January, hopefully. So look out for that. That'll be all over our social media. We'll be posting that and reposting that.
Yeah.
Try and get the name out there. And then, I don't know, I listened to another episode. I figured these are two guys that I'm always going to kind of give a little rub to at the end of our shows. But the Dead Ass Girls, check them out on Twitter and Instagram and Podbean or whatever the hell they're on. And Armchair Bookers as well. They're on Podbean, I think. I don't know if the Dead Ass Girls are, but Armchair Bookers, check those guys out as well. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I don't know, if there wasn't much else that you guys had to talk about. That's a little loud. I don't know. Should we close her down, boys?
Cut the music.
Sorry about the
Again?
ear rape.
No.
Again? Just like last week?
I'm definitely going to start playing off my
cut it.
My Rick Rude.
I'll cut it, just like last week.
So what I need is for all you fat, out of shape, Bowmanville sweat hogs. No.
What?
It's just a Rick Rude.
Yeah, Tanner's not too familiar with Rick Rude, but
casual fan.
Yeah. We'll get you up. He's one of the greats.
One of the greats.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, sorry about the music, but hey, we're learning.
Ignore that ear rape.
Yeah, shit happens. It's all good. Thanks for checking us out, guys. Pro Wrestling Look Back Podcast, Roundtable, episode 15. We're out here. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter as well, at PW Lookback. Give us a follow on those. Send us a DM if you want any questions answered on the show or suggestions for topics, anything like that. Send us an email at prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. I recently updated the website. I think it's got every episode on there. prowrestlinglookback.wordpress.com. And as always, the main one on YouTube, Pro Wrestling Lookback. Stay tuned in the new year. That might be changing. And hit that little bell. Follow me on Twitter as well, at Salsa, SCELSA.
You can follow me at Twitter at Royalty40 or Instagram at TPrice40.
Yeah, and my Twitter is at New School Money. Give us all a follow.
Yeah, thanks for checking out the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast, guys. I've been Nick.
And I'm Tanner, your casual fan.
And it's Don telling you to stay classy.
Yo, boy.